So hello everybody, welcome to the Dalston Den this afternoon and to our live stream where we're featuring Mo Al-Kaidi with The Moment Show and his art exhibition, Sorry About Your Liver Dude. So in a minute I'm going to hand you over to Mo and he's going to go through the exhibition and show you all his pieces of art, what his inspiration has been and what the process was about how he created all these pieces. But if you've got any questions as we go along, please write them in the comments section and then at the end we'll do a Q&A with the brilliant Mo himself. So, here we go, Mo. Are you ready?
Yeah, well, I guess you are right already. Oh man, I have to hold the mic. This is amazing. Can you hear me very well? Do we have anyone to give comments yet? So we have to wait for a minute. It's recording, right? So yeah, just like keeping for people to tune in, and we're gonna start. So we have someone. Oh, fabulous. Hello. Can you hear me very well? Is the sound okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And the camera's going away. Nice. So, yeah. I think we should do this again.
Yeah. Let's wait for
You can stand there and
Yeah. So we're going to start in a sec. We're just waiting for a few more people to come and join us in the live stream. So we're just waiting for a few more people to arrive in the live stream before we get going. So just bear with us for a sec while we get everyone in the room. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to give it a start. So thank you all for joining us this afternoon. We're here at the Dalston Den and we are featuring Mo Al-Kaidi, who has got his exhibition, Sorry About Your Liver Dude. So I'm going to hand you over to Mo in a minute, but before we do that, just want to say that at the very end of his talk, we're going to open up for questions. So if you've got any questions, anything you want to know, then write them in the comments section and we'll do a Q&A at the end. So I'm going to hand over to Mo now and here we go, Mo. He's going to talk through his exhibition and how he created all these amazing pieces of art. Thanks, Mo.
Thanks, mate. So I get to hold the mic and see myself in the camera and say hello. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's been amazing last night. We had like a really good run with two sessions. So we did took advice on board and I decided to have this lovely sticky mic in my hand. My name is Mo Al-Kaidi, if you don't know already. And thank you for tuning in for the Sorry About Your Liver Dude, which is a story of my new series. I would like, just before I start, to thank the team here. They've been really awesome. They worked so hard, Sam and Benga and Paolo. We had some hiccups and we dealt with it really nicely. That was great. So Sorry About Your Liver Dude is a series I'm trying to explain in 7 paintings or 7 chapters, I'd like to call it, to express my views about the artist ego and ego in general and how it really kind of shape and refine how we react to things. And I chose to use Greek mythology because I'm a big fan to kind of represent that via one of their characters, which is the Titan Prometheus, which I'm a big fan as well of, who represent the master artist, the father of all artists. He's a creator of everything that we know now, him and his brother, in the Greek mythology. So I chose his way. He was like the foresighting guys. He's a trickster. He's a cool dude in the whole kind of gods, Olympians and Titans and all of that. So I chose to do that through this story and take it to 2 parts. The first part is how we became what we are, copying the Greek mythology or quoting it. And then the other half is the artist's ego and what it reflects and what it's made of. So I'll try to explain that again. It's amazing. Like actually the 3rd time and it's still struggled to explain. So the first chapter is like Zeus bored, which pretty much been described in Stephen Fry Mythos book in the best way ever. Like he was sitting there, kind of bored from his creation, and Prometheus walked in and like, oh, why are you upset? And he was like, oh, just, look at the world, plants, animals, birds, seas and oceans and mountains and da 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 da. But it's missing something, missing like passion, something between us. And he was like, what do you mean? And he was like, a creature that comes in, look like us, but in the meantime, not completely a follower like all the other species. So, and this is a part that I really want to explain. This is how an artist get a commission from someone idea that they want to say. They think about it, and then comes in the artist and take this idea and transform it to reality, which Prometheus did when we go to the second chapter, which is called Making Man, titled Making Man. And Making Man is when the artist took the idea and went in his world, which I imagined, and I explained that twice yesterday. It's amazing, that I really like robots since I was a kid, and I had Messenger. If any of you 80s generation, there is so many robots in so many Japanese cartoons that no one could imagine, man. And I chose to reflect that as this kind of scientist robot that work with equation in his lab that full of blackboards. And that's when he started to make man. And when he started to make man, the whole mythology say that he made us from clay, from Gaia, and the spit of Zeus, and the breath of Athena. And he made all of this really nice line of colors. He had pink, he had light blue, purple, yellow, gray, black, shady black. He had all this color. He loved it, and he was really proud of it. And Zeus comes as a clumsy god, as he always been portrayed, and bang, 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 okay, Prometheus, and then he steps on, 4 of the characters. So we lost, unfortunately, a human that meant to be light blue and violet. Shame, right? Can you imagine walking around the street and having blue humans? So here he's making them and starting, the whole creation, and that's when we came to life. And according to the mythology, we were just men, and we always been cloned, because that's what Zeus wants, that we are mindless creatures. And then we move to the third chapter, which how the Greeks understood how we got to have knowledge. So, and they represented that very well in fire. And fire for man was the key to everything. When we had fire, we knew how to cook meat. We became a bit, brain became a bit bigger. We just transformed. Once we had the knowledge of fire, you can see through history that we completely transformed from hunter-gatherer and all of that to actual cities and towns, and more importantly, weapons, so we can fight each other. And and then we become the gods. We become Zeus. Zeus is scared now. It's dude, what the hell? You gave them fire, and now they're gonna take over from us. So he had a whole other story and chapters in the Greek mythology that take this point to the next point, but I'm not going to go through that because it's a bit too long. And I'm going to go on the last chapter in the Greek kind of myth, quoting in my painting. And that will take us to the last one in this chapter, which is the punishment. So Zeus decided, man, I'm really kind of got the camera set up. Sorry guys, we keep practicing, so we're learning everything on the way with bros. And give me some time to recap my thoughts. So that's a punishment, and the punishment is a very, very important piece that I wanted to work on clearly. So I actually repeated this piece about 3 times. Every time I finish it, and I'm like, no, I don't like it. And it's really sad when you, anyway, it's really emotional when you cut your heart. So that piece for me, I think the punishment for Prometheus was many, many things. One of them, he knew that will end at some point because he's foresightful, so he see what's happening. So the trickster he is, he tricked Zeus by thinking that he's punishing him. He thought, if I want to be a hero and stand out about all the gods, that there is an artist live in London, live in England, about 2,000 years later will paint something about me, through all other artists that painted the punishment of Prometheus in such a beautiful manner. And but I really wanted to be different because all of them were sad and miserable. The pain of the liver being taken every day, and it just represented a lot of suffering. But for me, I don't think deserves suffering. He made a sacrifice to give us the idea of being rebellion. he gave us the idea of sticking to your guts, and when you believe in something, it doesn't matter what will happen, you have to stand up for it. And that was this painting, and that deserves a celebration. It deserves bright colors, it deserves lights and expansion of things, and you can see that even Angry Bird is there, man. Like, they made it to Prometheus time. And that's when it all funnels in on that kind of, it's as sad as a story and as completely doesn't make any sense why they did the whole thing from the beginning anyway, was our understanding of how to be a rebellion and a real human, which not depending on, where is the brick gonna come out of my cave, and how many kind of berries I'm picking up tonight. We changed from that point, and that punishment deserves a celebration. So this painting is my celebration of Prometheus' punishment. Sound a bit Goro, but it's not. I hope you know what I mean. So I'm gonna move a bit slowly because now we're gonna take the next chapter. So 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. I'll be back. So here, when the whole Greek mythology drops off, and I start to get more to the main idea of the ego. So this series was based up on these two things. A hero that I really like, a superhero that I look up for, and a subject that I always wanted to tackle that got triggered by December when the third lockdown happened. So this piece is Windows, which is pretty much, as an artist, if I claim I call myself one, is what I want to represent as opportunities. So if I think of opportunities, life, chances, loss, winning, luck, beliefs, culture, it's all windows and all parts that opened up to us. And we opened it, and it can open and give us a lot of information. It can be shut, it can be too cold, it can be too windy. That's what I'm trying to say. It became this painting in my sight. And you can see again more robots. I love the robots, man. It's really kind of insightful for me. So you can see that in this painting, I'm trying to see what is what I'm seeing is because it's there to see it, or is it there to see it because it's there? If that makes sense. And that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Everything there is what I think I've seen in my life, and in little kind of comic-y bits that I love to work with. But yeah, did I do that just because I wanted to do that, or did I do that because it was once there? I don't know, but I thought this will show it. Yeah, 40 years, man. 40. No, not doing it 40 years. It have 40 years of my life. Okay, and now we're gonna move to the last two pieces that represent the whole thing. The first one is a tree of life, which is a beautiful drawing. So we're fixing the light quick.
Careful.
Yeah. It's hot. Okay, fabulous. Sorry. Again, we're learning, so thank you for your patience. So this one is the tree of life, which is I'm trying to represent the way that we started to analyze things, which is like pretty much from the point or know who we are or where we came from when Darwin really started, like, the origin of species and doing all of his research. And I really like that. This piece represents for me that time of our life as humans. This tree of life that he drew with his handwriting. And I even had a tattoo of it. And actually, this is what I want to present of it, is the expansion of knowledge that give us to all of these small little windows that, because we knew what is the end here, meaning that there's another end there, and it keep going. And that's what I wanted to say with it. It's quite complicated. And then we get to the last piece of the whole series, which is our ego. The ego that made us who we are, the ego that pushed this whole series to be done, because I wanted to represent an idea that I want to give to other people, and I think that's driven by ego, which is like same as everyone else, in a good way though. I like this whole study, the hero, even the rebellion, Prometheus did it all for his ego, because he wanted to be remembered and be kind of, even if the values that he gave us is amazing and great, which is being creative, being rebellion, being thoughtful, being conscious of what we are. Still, he did the whole thing for him to be a hero and be remembered, because his Greek mythology background, he's a titan. He wasn't even an Olympian. So we got to stop talking about that, because I can't stop when I start. But this is what I wanted to say here. This is my ego in every meaning. Is it's a painting to look at and try to see what's in there. And I would like to see your comments about it. would be helpful to see if actually I can represent to you what I want to represent in my head when I'm painting my paintings. And then this whole series been triggered by two paintings that I'll show to you now that I decided to put them here to show it around. So if I just roll the mic around. I like that slow movement of the camera, it's quite nice. I got my stick back. So, and that came up with the two parts I mentioned in the beginning, which is ego and Prometheus, Greek mythology and ego and Greek mythology. And here we come to this piece that is representing, really, I think at that moment when I started doing that, I realized that ego is not a bad thing as people think it is, because you can take it down, and when you take it down, it can refine you and make you better. And that's when this piece did that to me. I was really struggling with the third lockdown, and I was like in end of December after Christmas, questioning everything as everyone else pretty sure was this whole COVID scenario that hopefully will end soon. And I was trying to get ideas. I had the artist block, that I couldn't really think of anything to paint. December was a really awful month as a whole of last year. But then I was speaking to my friends, trying to get someone to order something, life. And then one of my mates actually reminded me of a lot of stuff that I forgot about, which is my first memory in the UK when I moved from Cairo. And this was the Glastonbury Festival, which was freaking amazing. Like, I've been there, and I didn't realize how much happiness I had in that time. And I tried to sum that up in these memories in this painting. And through that, I didn't like the end of it, but I know, like, oh, that looks a bit dirty. And then bang, suddenly I played around with it, and I discovered that I can experience other new techniques, and I don't have to stick to one goal, which really shattered the ego that you think you have. Because when I started, if you're looking at my old series, and you will see one of them now, my ego is really driven in a very high drive that is not good enough to get to where you are. But now I think it's getting somewhere to learn and understand that you never really learn everything. If you know anything about life, is that you know nothing. And I think that's why I was trying to represent that whatever you do, your ego have to be in check, and you have to understand that you have to learn and you have to go through the process rather than just, I'm a great. And now the other one that inspired it was when I was moving out in January to my new place, and I came through my old paintings. I was like tidying up, And Prometheus, which is one of my old series called Reborn, is this one. And as you can see, that's my old style, like how I was working only with brush. I never used palette knives or Japanese knives, which is really amazing. I highly recommend to work with it. And that's his punishment in action. This is a suffering piece, right? Standing there and the bird coming to eat him, his liver. So, Prometheus. And last but not least is because really I want to do more pieces, right? This really is not enough for what I wanted to do. But in the meantime, I wanted the series to be 7 pieces max. So I decided to do these little ones, which I'll give you a brief on it, to just like practice my shapes and all of that stuff. And it was really good. So I came up with this 8 pieces. There's 3 of them here. The rest will be online shortly. So here we have creation, which the way of the whole kind of new thing that we understood, how creation happened. And I would like you to look at this one again and see what I'm trying to say. And then we got the forging, which what we used to make the manufacture of weapons once we understood fire. And then we got the mother of us all, the reason that the Greeks believed, that life existed, Gaia, with chaos and all of the story. And that's the way I can see Gaia is like there and colorful and fertile and giving us a whole new opportunity of life. And on that note, I actually finished talking again. It's like I'm really crying, I should have some words. So I don't know, guys. Let's check if you have any questions or anyone said anything. Oh, we had viewers actually. Yeah, we've got. Oh, lovely. So no questions. So well, that's great. So everyone can hear me, all right? Like, can I look here? Is that okay? And you have to keep social distancing. Yeah. Okay.
So do we have any questions?
No questions? Well, here you go. Yep, nice. Charlie, how are you, mate? Good to see you, man. You enjoyed this? We're much more organized and calm today, man. Yesterday was a bit of kind of like a crazy manner. Awesome. So, I think we didn't have any questions so far. There is one. Good to see you, man. Good to see you too, man. I hopefully enjoyed that. It was kind of, well arranged today.
Tell you what, while we wait for some questions to come in, I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
My question is, why is this exhibition called Sorry About Your Liver?
Yeah, I knew you would do that, man. I knew she actually was wearing a matching earrings. So as a good friend of mine, she's wearing a matching earring with the artwork, so it's quite cool. I didn't sign that. So yeah, all right. Sorry about your liver, dude. I was in that club somewhere in London, and I always have this kind of jokes that I use Greek mythology, which people never really understand, but I think it's really cool. So I always use it. So whenever someone asks me for a lighter, I'll be like, Prometheus in your service. And one day, this person looked at me and he was like, sorry about your liver, dude. I was like, mate, I love you. Shall we get married right now? Like, you actually got my joke for the first time in many years.
How many years have you waited for somebody to get that
About years, man. Yeah. Some people do actually. Like, I like this kind of like sense of humor, if you call it, because I don't know if it's sense of humor or not. It's just like the first reference that come to your head, and you were like, oh yeah, sorry about your liver, dude. And then when I decided to make it about Prometheus, I was like, you know what? Actually, it's a really good way, because sorry about your liver, dude. That it's interesting how the Greeks represented it by the punishment to be with the liver, because it was the part that Zeus liked the most, and he was looking forward to it in the sacrifice that they gave him. So he decided to punish Prometheus. Like, all right, you took my liver, I'm gonna take your liver every day. And he did that. It's brutal, isn't it? Like Zeus is like the Greek gods, man. They really need a psychologist. They need a psychologist, man. They need to see a psychologist. They were full of crap. But yeah, so that's when it came in, and it's actually really cool, because the liver is a very important. Every part of our body is important, but the liver is really, it's a symbolic thing, because it keeps growing, right? Like sometimes when you cut it keep growing back. I'm not sure if that's right or wrong, but I think someone told me that before. So it was just a representation, and more than that, it's about the destruction that you have done to your body, and then you're like, how's
your liver?
I have no idea. I'm not gonna check. I have no idea, man. I'm not gonna check that ever. I'm gonna leave it as it is. It's I'm not foresightful. I will let the foresight for like the zodiac, which I've been reading now. So guys, do you have any more questions? Does anyone else have any questions?
We don't have any questions on here, but I've got another question.
Yes.
So do you use are these acrylic paints or oil paints?
No, that's a mixed material. So some of them are completely oil, and some others have oil and acrylic on it. I really like to work with oil. The texture, it's like a layer of skin that you're building in the painting, and you can layer it to represent depth. It's fun, and it's nice to be dirty with oil colors. Like all of my clothes is full of colors.
And how long does it take you to do?
So it's very hard to say. With the style that I'm working with now, because I use palette knife and I use the colors straight away on the canvas, it takes weeks to dry, and it depends really on which pigment you're working with. That's something I learned. I was actually YouTube. Thank you very much for giving us educational. I learned in a way that every pigment is different. Like the lemon yellow and the Camden orange. This stuff would take weeks to dry, so I have to kind of less use of them. And I have to look at the camera. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm looking to her, man. That's rude if I look at the camera and not look at her. Like, come on. When do you think I grow up? Anyway, so yes, so it depends on the color. So it depends really. Like these two pieces there, the Ego and Tree of Life, they literally took about 4 weeks to dry. Yeah, wow. But some other, and I want to use mediums like that dry things faster, because it takes away from the pigments and can crack it. And I want my painting to live forever, right? Yeah. I don't repeat any of these. I don't do print. It's one idea, come in one piece, and that's it. You have it, no one else will have it. So I like to keep that consistent. So to have this value, it have to be like a very long-lasting. So it's beautiful. I like it. It took long. I think I need to have, hopefully I'll get my new studio sorted soon. And I need to get a proper ventilation and proper drying system. So if I want to continue with that kind of style. But who knows, man? I keep experimenting with new things, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
So what's next for you then?
Sleep. I have a lovely dinner, hopefully. And then sleep. And then sleep. I know. I sleep. Sleep. That's why I need to be creative now. It's been like 3 months of hell, man. Waking up, holding brushes and knives, and looking at people talking about my art. People got bored from me. I've been like talking about. I felt like I should shut on Instagram because I'm like talking to everyone about it. Oh, thanks, Thomas. How are you, man?
Oh, look, question.
Yes.
Which one is your favourite?
How can you ask a dad which son is your favorite? They're all my favorite. They're my creation. They're the best. They're my Xerox of my brain. I don't have a favorite. Only you don't need that. Man, I'm not going to answer that question because there's so many dark thoughts that come as favorites.
All right. Okay, so at what point do you feel a piece is complete, or when you feel?
I don't know, man. You probably know. You're an artist yourself. I think. I don't know. You just feel it. You have, man, there's pieces here that I did work on about 4 times on top of each other, like windows. This piece I started when I started my art career in 2019. And it kept changing and transforming and changing and transforming. You never know. But at some point, you feel like it's necessary to let that child go, It's necessary to let them have their kind of life and independency. So you have to step away from her, and that's it. It's very hard. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially with artists like myself. Like, I'm still a baby. I'm growing up in the art world, so it's really nice to actually, keep repeating things. So I get old pieces I worked on before, and I'll bring it back. I'm like, how did I exhibit that, man? I need to make it better.
What would you say is like over this like lockdown period? You said you've like created this body of work. What have you learned the most sort of through this creation?
That you have. It's more kind of you learn things every day, but what I learned the most from all of that is that there is nothing called I learned anything. I keep repeating that, but it's true. It's like I can't look at a piece and say, I learned everything in that piece, because when you start again, it gets better or it gets worse. What I really kind of technically I learned is I need to keep notes to keep remembering what you're following up with. So I did start doing that, which is great.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much I'll stick to it because I get bored very quick. So happy days.
That's cool. Oh, looks like we've got lots of questions.
All
right, so.
Oh, nice.
All right, so Prometheus has a story of eternal torment. Are you even going to free him in your paintings?
Well, that is an amazing question, dude. Thanks, Giuseppe. That's a really, really good question. I did actually in Windows. So that's what I was trying to say. It was like a bit of a mix between Prometheus and the transformation of the Greek mythology to go into the main ego in the art discussion. And in this piece, for me, it was the windows that it's open. It's up to us to think. In the Greek mythology, he's actually ended. Hercules came and saved him. And that's why I said he's a trickster. But again, if actually I write the mythology myself, which I do a lot of time in my head, I would choose him to be standing out there picking up which window he's going to go through, right?
Cool.
Nice.
And something else I want to ask you is like if anybody wants to buy any of your artwork.
Oh, nice, Napoleon. Hello, Napoleon. Man, I would like to steal your name. Napoleon.
If anybody wants to buy any of your work.
If you want to, okay. So you can go to my website that I just launched. I made it myself, so don't be judgmental. No, you can be. Criticism is good. It's themomanshow.com. Go have a look there. There's a shop. Indulge yourself. It's festival season. Yeah. Is it? I'm not sure. I think.
Have we got any more questions?
Any more questions, guys? Are we all good?
Hey.
Hello, Aga. Nice to see you.
Hi, Aga.
So, question. Man, I'm gonna get slaughtered by Aga now.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you for coming
Happy
on
days.
this afternoon and supporting Mo.
Yeah, that was great, guys. These guys are amazing, man. We started working on that, me and Benga, about 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago, Dalston Den. Well, Benga and Esteban is a legend around this place here, and it's amazing, man. Like, since I drew this place, I wanted to do an exhibition here, and I don't believe I'm going to say this. Thanks to the lockdown, we got the opportunity to do this because, we needed to find a new way of exposing our art. And the art world is really kind of odd in how it's been controlled by, businesses. I'm not going to go there because everything goes in that way, but I understand and I appreciate it. But we wanted to create something new that is not too extravagant and kind of not organized, and you get something a bit more kind of like, here we are, we're having some good time, I'm chatting to you, showing you the artwork, and showing where we are now. Like, you know, it's something that we would hope to continue, and we're gonna discuss how it will work.
Yeah.
So keep tuned, because this event is gonna be more, and then it's not gonna be only me. Gonna bring other artists.
Well done for like
Thanks.
you know creating this in such sort of tricky circumstances and for creating.
I like it. I really like it. I really like it. Thanks. I really like it because it gives me. I like that, man. I like challenges and building new things. So, yeah, keep tuned. Thank you so much for coming, guys. I think. Sam, and thank you so much, Sam, for doing this. This is amazing, man. Like, you know, last video, the first video we made, it was just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And now we just have a bit of organization. We had like all of the guys. Yeah, Paolo, you're amazing, dude. Thank you. So Paolo did all the sound, too. I hope the sound was great today. And yeah, Dalston then did everything else. They give us everything else we have here. So thank you very much for coming, guys. And yeah, please give us some comment. Let us know what you think. And you know, if you want to contact, just on the website. You know, go to big thanks Dalston Den, and subscribe to their channel. Oh no, actually no, wait, let's do it like as a YouTube, guys. Give us thumb up, we get 10 years of bad whatever, and if you want to get 20 years for good whatever, just give us a thumb up and subscribe and get the notification button and the bell. I can't remember all of it. Anyway, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Have a great evening. Sunday is awesome.